Hello everyone, my name is Gobbles. I'm a level 85 Dwarven Fury Warrior, and I'm going to teach you how to become an awesome PvE Cataclysm Fury Warrior Raider. All you have to do is follow the steps in this guide. It's going to take you through spec, glyphs, stats, reforging, enchants, macros, single target rotation, multi-target rotation, and add-ons. Feel free to skip to the part of the guide that best suits you if you feel comfortable in any of these areas, but this video is going to aim to be a single source for everything you need to know in order to play your class efficiently. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy the guide. Okay folks, so the first thing to go over is spec. This is your cookie cutter PvE Fury Warrior spec for Cataclysm 4.0.6 at the moment. I'm not going to go over what each individual talent does, but I will tell you how many points I put into them and discuss a few key talents in the Fury tree. So let's start over here in Fury, since that's the first tree you're going to put your points into. You're going to put 3 into Battle Trance, 2 into Cruelty, 2 into Executioner, 2 into Booming Voice, 2 into Rude Interruption. Little caveat here, you will be interrupting a lot in Cataclysm, especially during raids. I know I'm asked to be put on Arcanatron, Maloriak. There's a lot of bosses that need to be interrupted in this expansion, and they need to be interrupted reliably. Well, how do you do that without sacrificing your DPS rotation? Rude Interruption is the key to that. It increases your damage by 5% for 30 seconds each time you interrupt a spell with your Pummel or Shield Bash. So, very useful to have. You will be using it. That's why we put it in there. 3 points into Flurry, 1 into Death Wish, 3 into Enrage, 1 in Raging Blow, 1 in Rampage. I like to put 1 into Heroic Fury because I bounce all over the place with Heroic Leap. Also, it helps to remove immobilization effects, which you can run into more often than not. So, just a handy little talent to have. 2 in Meat Cleaver, 2 in Intensify Rage, 3 in Blood Surge, 2 in Skirmisher. I use Titan's Grip. You can also use Single-Minded Fury. You'll find them to be about even in damage. There's some people who will just staunchly tell you, oh, right now Single-Minded Fury does more. Oh, right now Titan's Grip does more. It really doesn't matter, folks. The DPS damage, I mean, it's really nominal. Do what you like. I can tell you that your rage will come to you differently with single-handed weapons than they will with two-handed weapons. So you'll get it slower and in large chunks with Titan's Grip, and you'll get it a little more evenly, but smaller chunks with Single-Minded Fury. So do what you want. Let's go over here to the arms tree. Going to put 3 in War Academy, 2 in Field Dressing, and 3 in the all-important Deep Wounds. For the remaining 2 in Insight is a good choice. That's your basic cookie cutter spec for a PvE Fury Warrior in Cataclysm. Alright folks, now we're going to talk about glyphs. These are your cookie cutter glyphs for your PvE Fury Warrior. Let's go over the prime glyphs first, since they're really the ones that matter. At the top, we have Glyph of Raging Blow. Pretty standard. Increases critical strike chance by 5% of your Raging Blow ability. Bloodthirst. Increases damage by 10% of your Bloodthirst, which is the staple of your DPS. Very important. And Slam. Critical strike chance of Slam by 5%. You're going to get people that tell you Slam's not worth it. That used to be the case early on in Cataclysm, but they've patched it, and it is worth it now. You will be using it in your rotation, so make sure you have Glyph of Slam. Let's go over your major glyphs real quick. Glyph of Heroic Throw, Glyph of Cleaving, Glyph of Death Wish. Really, the only one of these that actually matters is Glyph of Cleaving, because you know you're going to be doing some AoE, trash pulls, 5-mans. Death Wish is nice, doesn't matter that much. Heroic Throw, that is kind of nice to have an additional stack of Sunder Armor, but you know, not mandatory. Your minor glyphs really don't matter one iota. Pick one that you like and use it. The only one I'd say maybe consider using is Glyph of Berserker Rage. You will be using Berserker Rage to make sure that you're enraged for Raging Blow. So it's nice to have that extra 8 rage generated when you do in fact use it. So I would say keep Berserker Rage, but the other 2 are negotiable. I use Bloody Healing and Glyph of Battle. Results may vary. That is your glyphs. Alright folks, let's talk about stats. you really should focus on this particular part of the guide if you're a noob, or if you're just really, wanting to get the most out of your character, because it's probably pound for pound the most important. Let's look at our gear real quick. So what we want to focus on in Cataclysm right now with precision is getting your hit chance to 8%. This number right here should say 8% at least. What that's going to do is it's going to prevent you from missing with your special attacks on level 88 boss mobs. That is your number one priority. Your second priority is to get your expertise in or around 26. Now what that's going to do is it's going to stop bosses from dodging and parrying you in general, and it's going to give you the opportunity to build the rage you need because you didn't dodge or parry anything, or rather they didn't dodge or parry you, and you can do effective DPS. So first hit 8%, expertise 26. Now what do you do after you meet those? Well, I'm glad you asked. What you're going to want to do is focus on Critical Strike. Your Critical Strike, you're going to have a lot of stuff that you're going to reforge, because you're going to try to get rid of that excess hit, you're going to try to get rid of that excess expertise, and you're frankly going to have a ton of extra stuff to reforge. Almost every single one of my items here I have reforged into Critical Strike, or another useful stat like Mastery in some way, shape, or form. So, in short, what you want to do is, if you have extra hit, take it on over to the Reforge guy in the Mage Quarter and reforge it to Critical Strike. If you have something with expertise, and you already have 26 expertise, reforge it to Critical Strike. Not Rocket Surgery. You need Critical Strike chance to keep your flurries procced and to see those big sexy warrior numbers, and you will be seeing a lot of big sexy warrior numbers if your crit is high enough. So, hit 8%, expertise 26, reforge everything else into Critical Strike. Now, you will have an item every once in a while that has something like hit and Critical Strike on it already. So what do? You can't reforge it to Critical Strike because it's already got Critical Strike on it. Well, you have two choices here. You can reforge it into extra hit, because there's a lot of theory crafting going on at the time of this video that says if you try to use that extra hit to get closer to hard cap so you don't miss with your white damage, it may be better than Mastery. But it's not really conclusive. So you could reforge that extra hit, or that extra whatever into hit, or keep it as hit, or you could reforge it into Mastery, which helps you out in other ways, like with your Raging Blow. I choose to keep hit, so I like to have my white damage not miss as much. I think it helps with my rage regeneration. Results may vary. It doesn't matter really that much, as long as you follow the rest of the steps. Hit at 8%, expertise at 26, reforge everything you can into Critical Strike. Every once in a while you're going to run into some problem items where you got to choose between hit or Mastery. Use your judgment. It really doesn't matter that much. Okay, now let's go over gems really fast. Pretty simple. In Cataclysm, gem bonus sets, socket sets, I should say, are usually amazing, and you do want to gem for the bonuses 9 times out of 10. Use your best judgment. If your socket bonus is strength, yeah, you're probably going to want it. Here's what you're going to do. In the case of a blue gem socket, used Etched Diamond's Eye. Now, as I'm making this video, there are no epic quality gems out. That will change, and I'll update this video once that happens. But for now, you've just got your rare quality gems. Blue socket equals Etched Diamond's Eye. Remember that one? Let's find a yellow socket here. Yellow socket, you're going to want to use a gem called Inscribed Ember Topaz. 20 strength, 20 critical strike. Pretty sexy. Going to help you reach that socket bonus. Got another Etched Demon's Eye in here. And you can see that this particular item has a 20 strength set bonus. Pretty nice. For red, what do you think you're going to use? Oh, you're so freaking smart. 40 strength. That's right. Now, if you're a jewel crafter, obviously, use your judgment here. I've got my 67 strength gems in my belt because my belt had one red socket. Get your prismatic from the Ebon Steel belt buckle. You know, pretty self-explanatory. If you're an engineer, which I also happen to be, you get these awesome things called cogwheel sockets. Well, the ones I've chosen are Critical Strike. That's pretty much mandatory. And the secondary cogwheel, I really think that should go to whatever you need help reaching. For me, it's expertise at the moment, so I've got 208 expertise. make sure you get that critical strike one in. 208 critical strike is definitely nothing to sneeze at. Now let's talk about your meta gem. You got two choices. Now, you're going to get a lot of hardcore LOL noob players that tell you only have one, which is Reverberating Shadow Spirit Diamond. 54 strength, 3 increased critical damage. There is another meta gem. It is called Chaotic Shadow Spirit Diamond. It will give you 54 crit and 3 increased critical damage. It also requires 3 red gems. It doesn't matter that much. I recently switched to the 54 strength. I like it. If you like the 54 critical strike, more power to you. So, that is stats, reforging, and gems. Okay, folks, time to go over enchants. A little preface here. As I am making this video, Cataclysm has only been out for a few months, and Maelstrom crystals on my server go for an upwards of 2k. So a lot of the enchants I'm going to show you today do not include those enchants that require Maelstrom crystals. I will try my best to explain which one of these items can be replaced by an Uber enchant, but keep that in mind. So, bearing that in mind, let's start with gloves. I use 35 strength. There is an epic quality enchant. It is called, well, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's 50 strength. So keep that in mind. Nothing on your belt. You know what to do with the socket there. Dragon Scale Leg Armor is the consumable leatherworking item that you do want to use on your pants. 190 attack power, 55 critical strike rating. Pretty great. Make sure you get it. If you can afford it, grab Lava Walker. I cannot. Lava Walker will give you 35 mastery and increase your run speed, so it's good utility as well as stats. If not, grab 50 hit rating. Nothing to sneeze at. If you're an enchanter, you know what to do on your rings here. Should be self-explanatory. Okay. You want to put, if you can afford it, Landslide is definitely the best enchant for your weapons, single-handed or dual-handed. Titan's Grip or Single-Minded Fury. So, if you can't afford Landslide, which gives you, I think, 1,000 attack power procs, sexy. If you're a cheap bastard like me, you're going to want to use Hurricane. Hurricane is going to increase your haste. It's better than nothing. It's it's definitely not Landslide, but it's nothing to sneeze at. So, Landslide first, Hurricane second. On your wrist, you're going to want to put 50 critical strike. There is a better enchant for that. I do not have it. I can't tell you what it is offhand. On my chest, I have 15 to all stats. There is a better one. It is called Peerless Stats. It will give you plus 20. So, grab that if you can afford it. Critical strike, I have 50 on my cape. I believe there is a 65 one critical strike to your cape, so grab that if you can afford it. Your shoulders are going to be the epic quality Therazane enchant. Make sure you grab that. And lastly, your helmet. If you're Alliance, you're going to want to use Arcanum of the Wild Hammer. If you're Horde, Arcanum of Dragonmaw. And that is your enchants.